All right, chat. So today, don't know if you guys know this, big thing in the streamer community ATM right now is Streamer U. Streamer U is essentially a Kai Cenat endeavor event, I guess you would say, that brings a bunch of like smaller creators in and has a bunch of bigger elder creators in the industry coach them and teach them some stuff. Ludwig is obviously one of my major inspirations, and he's been teaching some classes this week. We're going to react to the one he did today because it specifically pertains to YouTube, and we'll talk about what I agree with, what I don't disagree, or what I don't agree with, and kind of go from there. Obviously, I am not as big as Ludwig. I have not made as much money as Ludwig, but that shouldn't matter here. That's not context that really matters. God, careful. That's not context that really matters, in my opinion. That's more so for, you know, people who care about that statistic. I think at the end of the day, this is more about what works best for you. Is this the best possible avenue for you? What kind of avenue you want to pursue on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And I think we can have a fun, cool, fruitful discussion about that. Hey, really quick, this is an ad read. This is just editor Alex here realizing that he didn't say something. Most of this is going to be chopped up and edited into parts that I found value in and my relevant like takes on that. And so if you want to watch like the whole experience, the whole VOD, that is still on the channel. You can go check that out. But this is going to be like my edited reactions to certain parts of the video. So keep that in mind when watching. Back to the video. I love the dynamic of like actual fucking college, by the way. Not even college, like more middle school, high school. I just love that like streamers are just getting straight up fucking, no, you're not overprivileged. Get wrecked, nerds. We all know you make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars at the minimum, but fuck you.
Something that your chat knows your
love the energy.
Okay. That is literally how it will work when you exit Streamer U. Why? I did the math. 2025
actual charts. Right, I think that's what makes Ludwig a really good like professor here, is like he's just backing everything he has with facts. And that's like, it's one of those things that it's like, okay, you're talking about like streamers, right? Like, let's not kid ourselves for a second. You're talking about streamers, but like he's like, look, dude, I've been here for 8 years. I've been doing this shit. If you actually want to do this, his thing that he said yesterday in his last class was like, the world doesn't need another streamer. You could go start the trades tomorrow and be a way better contributor to society. You're choosing this because you want to make millions. You want to speak your mind. You want to be famous. So here's what you got to do that. And I fucking love the tenacity of it.
I looked at the viewership a month before Streamer U. I looked at the viewership last month. Their viewers are down. Okay? So what do you think your viewership is going to be like in a year? Do you think all of you are going to be up? Is that what you felt? Do you feel like you won the lottery on Streamer U? Holy shit, things are gonna be great forever?
I got a big opportunity.
It's a great opportunity.
More than winning.
But very few of you are going to be able to take advantage of it and turn it into long-form success.
Sure.
For most of you, this is gonna be a wonderful memory, and that's all it'll ever be. Maybe an extra paycheck this week, that's all it'll ever be. All right, that's the reality for y'all. The median viewership change year over year was 4 viewers, guys, okay? So what can we do? Where can we get some control? We can start working on things.
No streamer has self-control. Let's not kid ourselves for a second.
Think almost every single one of you in this room, basically without exception, sucks at YouTube.
Fact. I think because a lot of this is like very Twitch centric, right? And like multi-streaming has made this a little better, right? In the fact that it's like allowed us to stream on multiple platforms. That just allows VODs to go there. It just creates simple, less friction, right? Because this is such a Twitch focused event, like all of these people, and he'll go into this, I'm sure. I pre-watched a little bit, sorry chat. He'll go into this later, I'm sure, but it's pretty difficile to, I don't know where I was going with this. All of these people have like either no YouTube presence or like very minimal YouTube presence. So like all of these people are saying like, here's how you make $1 trillion on Twitch, you know, like $1 bajillion. And he's like the only one who's like, hey, I'm the resident YouTube expert on campus. Here's how we do this.
You guys feel very confident live streaming. That's the thing we do. We're streamers. You feel very confident maybe with clips, Instagram, okay? That's social media stuff. That's what we're good at. I can see you guys. You guys are really good at that, by the way. You guys are much better than I have ever been or ever will be at the Instagram, the short form game. I genuinely think you are amazing at it. I think long form is where there is a struggle, okay? And it's different levels, all right? We need to
It's
be
the hardest part of YouTube.
here. But here's the question.
Is actually making the YouTube content. Is actually making sit down, pay attention YouTube content. Like, the amount of videos that I've made, just for relevance here, chat. Like, I'm not trying to just like show my own fucking work here. Like, the relevance in general on this is insane. Like, all of this content were trials to figure out what the fuck my shit was gonna be, right? Like, who I was gonna be as a creator. And all of this stuff was trial and error, decisions that I had to make. Like, look at all of these are all Nerd Cape news. These were all me trying to make a, what did he call himself? Mogul Mail type video, right? I'm trying to do informative stuff that I'm cutting out of Twitch streams. Like, I actually went and got an editor. Luckily he was one of my coworkers. Shout out to Yashar. But he came and he edited every single one of these. We had a shitty ass workflow. It was terrible. But like, we made some really good videos, and like, these didn't do numbers at all. Like, no matter how many times I tried this, like, we weren't really getting into stuff until I found kind of my niche. Where's the first video? Talking specifically about like one-off events and just doing a big deep dive on one topic and like actually diving into one specific topic, getting a lot of stats behind it, doing a lot of like actual like scripting and editorial work. I mean, watch this before Nintendo scams you. I really thought this was just gonna be, it was a clickbaity title. I fucking hated everything about this. But this is just me talking to camera. But I spoke with such authority, I spoke with such confidence, and I had enough marketing and shit behind it that I was able to get almost $3,000 worth of 3,000 views. I don't know why I labeled it to money, but like every single one of those pop the fuck off in their own way. How not to dungeon master, learning from my own mistake. This is what I failed at. This is why my friends didn't enjoy, this is why my table didn't enjoy this. Like, all of this stuff where I speak with a level of authority and have like the actual facts and shit to back it up. Linux is finished. Linux isn't finished, but like, this was my clickbait way to tell you, like, here's all of the things I've learned while transitioning to Linux in different ways. Really good fucking video, by the way. It was just too long. Windows 11 is changing. Everybody hates Windows, so they want even more reasons. This is data collection for people, like finding different modes of doing that. Doing YouTube videos is fucking hard. And like, anybody who's just like, they just point a camera at themselves and they say, if you make because anybody can make a shitty YouTube video. But if you want a YouTube video that can let you grow, that can make you make money, none of that shit exists. None of that, like, nobody is out here doing it at a major level, like, comparatively to the like amount of people on this planet, right? It is still a small industry, and to do it well and to do it in a way that you become massive is very fleeting. How many, just so I can search this, how many YouTubers have over, this is probably going to be a bigger number than I thought, over 100,000 subscribers. And this isn't an indicator of success, but like under 1 million people on this planet, this is the AI overview, so sorry in advance. 600,000 to 650,000 people have over 100,000 subscribers. It's 1% of all active channels on the platform. 1%. And they're not like getting bangers every single time. They're getting some views where they look, do I have to go get another job? Like, if I hit the 100,000 subscribers mark, I'd be very appreciative of all of you and all of that jazz. But that is not, that's still not a safety net for me. Like, that's not going to get all of the views immediately that I need to like quit my job, get out of the IT industry, like do all of that kind of stuff. So just for context.
Do you guys agree with me? Let's show of hands. Do you think it is valuable to be good at YouTube? Yes.
Extremely.
We all agree with it. Okay. Why? Anyone have a guess? Why?
Because when you bring short form into your YouTube, you're like a TV show, you're like an episode, people have more screen time of showing the content.
Yeah, but you can just do it on Instagram. Why YouTube?
YouTube because you're bringing someone to your episode, you know, so you're like bringing someone that's something you made, that you created, and they sat through all the time. That's something they'll look forward to. Then you bring your YouTube.
Hey, I
Twitch
just
and see the live YouTube video.
listen to a lot of
It's
content. I'm
different.
immersed in this
Bringing them
stuff.
to your YouTube is the ultimate payout, everything, not pay money, but that's all we all grew up with, YouTube.
Okay.
So add it all together, that YouTube is the number one thing. You've got to get YouTube to get it everywhere else.
Because it's owned by Google, it has more longevity.
Because it's owned by Google, it has more longevity, okay?
Okay, so that's kind of a stat I don't agree with, right? Because companies can fade from existence like instantaneously. The best search engine on the planet was Yahoo for like a decade. Do we know who Yahoo is? No. There are two types of people who know what Yahoo is. Sports fanatics and fucking financial advisors, because they look at the fucking Yahoo's finance tab and they look at the Yahoo sports tab. Like, companies can fade from existence so quickly. Yes, you should do a more dependable platform. Like, I'm not telling you to go get on Kick tomorrow. I'm not telling you to go get on what used to be, God, what was Microsoft's version called? I really thought I was going to make it big on Microsoft streaming platform. I gave up on Twitch and was like, I'm going to do Microsoft streaming. I can't even remember what the fuck it was called. It was gone so quick. They like built it into Xbox and everything. I was like, this is it. Google could cut YouTube tomorrow and not even bat an eye. I don't know that that's true, because there's so much value in a Google search if it comes with a couple of videos, because you hit every single, like, YouTube may not exist in the way that it does, but like YouTube would keep that type of functionality around for Google search. But yeah, it's definitely not, it is definitely cutting into their revenue heavy because of like data center analysis and things like, or data center needs and things like that. So I don't necessarily disagree with that at all. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, YouTube could disappear tomorrow. It's not like the most stable thing. The internet is always evolving. Being multi-platform is the discussion that a lot of streamers are having at this place, at StreamerU, and what I think is extremely important being a creator long term. I am making a huge bet on myself and a bet on YouTube that I can just do everything within this platform, because I don't want to make Twitch streams. I don't want to manage multiple different streaming avenues. I don't like TikTok for a lot of technical and legal reasons and privacy focused reasons. And I hate Meta as well. So I'm not going to do Facebook or Instagram. And so that leaves me with this and like Blue Sky and Reddit. So like, this is where I'm making my hedge my bet. And that's a terrible like career decision, because this could disappear tomorrow. And, you know, Twitch wouldn't know who I am. Instagram and TikTok wouldn't know who I am. If YouTube fell apart, it would be over for me and I would just quit this full out. But it wouldn't stop me from making videos on a different platform. Like, I could make videos on Vimeo tomorrow, but nobody's asking for that, you know? And while I think it's not necessarily a bad observation to say that like YouTube is almost too big to fail, it is not. You can't guarantee success on a single platform. I am not guaranteeing the success of this channel long term by just being on YouTube. I should be on Twitch. I should be on Instagram. I should be on TikTok. I personally don't want to do those things, and those are the risks that you take. This is not necessarily a bad idea. It's just a risk that you're taking with your career.
We're going to go through a few websites that are familiar to you. Kick.
This is going to be great
64
data.
million people every month log on to Kick.
I don't think you should stream on Kick for 3 reasons. I think Kick is giving the industry some interesting nudges. Like, they have a guaranteed paid hourly rate for every streamer that's a partner. That's huge. I think that's good for like streamers long term, not as dependent on subscribers, not as dependent on advertising revenue. If you can do the hourly number and make a living off of that, do that, or see it as supplemental income. I think that's a great thing. The platform itself being fully funded by gambling addictions, being fully funded by an actual like gambling organization, allowing NSFW content to be like prominent with no really safety guards in place, and straight up ripping all of Twitch's, like, there are a bunch of ex-Twitch employees that just literally stole a lot of the intellectual property of Twitch and made that platform. Kick won't exist for a long period of time. They do a lot of very scummy things, but they are giving the industry certain things to think about, like the hourly wage for streamers.
I have too much stuff going on to make that happen. Because again, I go to college, I work, and I focus on streaming. So it's like I don't have the time to do it, but I try to make that time. Then I end up getting sidetracked with other stuff.
Okay.
I think that's a really important point, especially for like, I don't know how well you could hear that with the audio. Let me know how it is, chat. Essentially, his point was, I got a lot of stuff going on. How do I guarantee that my content is worth watching for the viewer? If I don't have enough time to put enough effort into it. And I think that's one thing that like the reason that like my era of like this era of my YouTube channel, which is over and like we are moving on to the next one, right? One of the reasons that I was able to do this is because I had no fucking social life. I had infinite amounts of time. I was working 4 10s instead of 5 8-hour shifts. And so I could actually like spend 3 days on just making YouTube content and washing the laundry and doing dishes. Like those were my 3 responsibilities for like a year and a half, 2 years of my life. And then we moved and my wife is so good at managing my social calendar. The amount of lack of friends I would have if it were up to me, and what has enabled me to have like really great friendships and really cool stuff is awesome. And I would absolutely trade that for YouTube success every single time. But now it's like, you notice starting probably, I like keeping this video on my stream or on my channel because it was 100% the thing. And it's the I Miss You Already. This is a love letter I did to New York City. It was such a shitty vlog video too, by the way. Like it was so not worth any of my time. But I made this video and it was right after we took like a week-long vacation it was like 5 days, it wasn't like a week, but like we took a pretty good, decent sized vacation to New York. And I loved every second of it. It was a great time. I loved it. I made a thing, but like that 5 days knocked me out of the rhythm of like every video that I had made previous to that, and like my streaming schedule and everything. And I just fell out of rhythm. And like these last couple of videos, like they're pretty good. Like there are some videos that did okay. Like Google is changing Windows 11. Like those videos did okay. I just fell out of rhythm. I stopped doing it at a right cadence. I stopped streaming as much. I wasn't recording content, which is what streaming should be, right? Like to do this well, to do this professionally, like the consistency is the key. And when you finally fall out of rhythm, when you finally, take trades. The trades, I had a better social life. I pivoted my career into IT. I was working 8 to 5 or 9 to 5s again, 4 9 to 5s. So I made a lot of trade-offs that made my life substantially better, but this suffered. This was on pace to be 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. I'm not there. We make trade-offs. And I forget the initial question. Oh, having the time to like actually make the stuff. And it's like, if I had a friend like Yashar when I was doing this like early on to like still be editing this stuff, if I put together like a 6-hour stream and like just jammed it all together, I could do that. But like now I'm out doing other things. We're starting a podcast as friends. We're doing like I have more responsibilities now that we just bought a house. Like all of this stuff is like compounding into my inability to make content at a regular cadence. And so I think it's extremely important to look at. So anyway, back to the regular schedule.
On Instagram?
Yes.
And like I'm talking a lot of shit on these creators, right? They're doing infinitely better than me. They're making money. They could take time out of their day to like, or take time out of their week to come to this event. Like they're doing infinitely better than me. There's still things to learn though. That's why they're here.
Can I break some news to you all right now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It is really easy to make content when the number's going up.
Yeah, definitely.
It feels so good
Damn
to go
right.
live when you know the viewership's gonna be higher.
Yeah.
It feels
Damn
so good
right.
to post on IG when you know the clip's gonna blow. So easy to post on YouTube when you know it's gonna bang. You know it's hard? Doing it when the viewership is down. And let's go one step further. Next week, what's gonna happen to all of you?
All of us are gonna fall off.
It's gonna happen. Guys, I have good news. Everyone's gonna fall off. Kai Cenat is gonna fall off.
No,
Watch your mouth. Don't say that shit. Watch your mouth.
Is gonna fall off.
Crazy. I think there are like ebbs and flows to content, right? I think there are times where you make like banger after banger after banger and number go higher. One thing that fucking YouTube Studio does all the goddamn time is it'll tell you like, oh, this is a 1 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10 or whatever, based on previous content you've made. And like, dude, getting a 1 out of 10 fucking hits. It hits so hard. It's so good. It feels awesome. Fucking, you can't do that anymore. You can't look at that. You can't fucking pay attention to that, because if you do, it's just tragic. It's tragic every time you have a video that you worked really hard on, that you put the fucking effort in on, and didn't get the results. And there are just ebbs and flows with that. Some videos aren't going to do well. Some videos are going to do way better. The amount of videos that I've made that I was like, this is going to be the worst video I've ever made, nobody gives a fuck about my opinion. Like Game Freak hates art now, and it's prequel video, if you will, the I hate Sweetkun's design. I really thought those were just going to be like me putting those love letters out into the universe, and then like nobody gave a shit. And then like YouTube is, or Nintendo is scamming all of us. Like, I thought this was just going to be me doing another talking. The amount of times I've done talking head videos that like just I narrate. Nobody gives a fuck, you know? Like, and then you just pop off and have a really good one. What's another one that I did that I really thought people would give a shit about, and they never did? Oh God, this is like ancient ass content. God, I was so skinny. I thought people would actually give a shit about this NVIDIA RTX 3000 series back when fucking NVIDIA was making GPUs you could afford. Like, I thought this video was gonna pop the fuck off. It immediately got surpassed by there's another shitty video I made like right after that did so much better. A podcast I did with the vice mayor. Oh, this fucking YouTube tutorial for fucking voice meter potato, bro. Just maxed it out of the water, 2K views. Like, insane. And then like making a webcam more cinematic, 1,000 views almost. Like, there are some videos that just do really good. This was me, by the way, also getting told by my father, you have a really good voice for being able to do tutorials, and you have a really good way to like do tutorials. Like, you should just do that. People use YouTube to learn things. And like, I didn't realize how much of a banger statement that was at the time, and I was like, fuck you, Dad, fuck you. And then I made the video, and it like popped the fuck off. It popped the fuck off for like a day, and it did like 200-300 views, and I was like, okay, it did 200-300 views. Dad was kind of right, but like, you know, it's not really what I want to spend the rest of my life on. But the fucking views that this has gotten since, like, it just continues to be evergreen content. It's the balance of like, do I create a banger that's relevant right now, and then it makes a fuck ton of money in like 2 days, and then it's never going to make me a cent ever again? Or do you make more content, can be more evergreen, more long-term, more part of a less topical? And that's the danger of like all the stuff that I want to do here, right? Because like talking about things like, you cannot hide from Google. Google is sneaking around with your data. Like, it will change everything. Xbox is changing gaming. Like, Windows 11 is changing. Like, all of these things will lose a little bit of relevancy over time. But like, for that first 1 or 2 weeks, it'll pop off. And so like, I have to balance that with a Linux is finished video, or emulators should not be scary. I emulate games and you should too, you know? Why homebrews fail. Like, all of these videos are evergreen content. I didn't realize the homebrew video did that well. Hell yeah. So like, I'm trying to find my niche. I'm trying to find that stuff, but like, absolutely looking at what type of content you can find right away to like be a little bit evergreen, but not lose your relevancy in the moment.
You want me to shut my mouth? Name a famous actor from 150 years ago. I'll wait.
Morgan Freeman.
Streamers are dumb as fuck. The fact that he said name an actor from 150 years ago, and he said Morgan fucking Freeman. Some people are too terminally online, bro. It's really tragic.
YouTube, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on your view of it, is not a platform for artists. It is not a platform for creatives. It is a platform for marketers. Okay. And you have always heard, I'm sure, if you watch other YouTubers say, man, I wish I didn't have to, bend over for the algorithm. I wish I didn't have to package my videos for the algorithm. But they do. All of them do, okay? It is necessary to succeed on the website. So let's start about the first thing that people see.
Okay, so just like one thing on that, right? I think it's extremely important to understand that yes, there is like an artistic value to creating videos, to creating content, to creating for platforms like YouTube, like Twitch, like Instagram, whatever. You can be an artist on this platform. You will not ever succeed to the level that a Mr. Beast or a Ludwig or anybody else will, because that's not what YouTube is looking for. YouTube is looking for two things. YouTube is looking for a way to sell advertisers. So creating content packaged in a way that YouTubers can sell somebody on a product, sell somebody on a lifestyle that a product can latch itself onto. And the second thing is education. Google will always, always, always care way more about how it can integrate things into search than it will anything else. It is what Google has built and has what made it a supreme organization in the world. If you cannot do one of those two things, you will fail on YouTube. If you cannot educate people in some way, or you cannot provide a advertiser or product value, you will fail on YouTube. And that's horrifically terrible to think. But in order to grow as an artist, the amount of external things that you need to have go well for you so that they will pivot to your YouTube is extreme versus what you can do if you formulate your content in a way that is digestible to the algorithm.
Last thing I want to talk about here, guys. Don't trust me.
Okay, let's just quit this video. It's all over. We can't trust him. Get out, chat.
I am someone who succeeded. To do that, it took a lot of luck. But there's also something known as survivorship bias. I made it now. I can say, guys, just do this, this, this. And I go home into my $1 million mansion. I'm living a good-ass life. And you all bought what I said without maybe thinking critically yourself. Do I agree with him? Okay? I remember when I was a smaller creator, Mr. Beast invited me to his place to do a video with him. So I went. And this is Mr. fucking Beast. He's got like 100 million subs. So I'm like, what do I gotta do, Jimmy? How do I make it like you? And Mr. Beast, he goes, oh, just make banger videos. Yeah, you should just make banger videos. Every video you should make should be an absolute banger. And I go home and I go, all right, team, all we're doing from now on is banger videos. A month later, I'm like, fuck banger videos. I like the workflow I have. I like the life that I lead.
100%. I think in the same way that we were talking about earlier, how I am going to stay on YouTube and I'm not going to branch out to Twitch and Instagram. And I know that's a detriment to me by being one platform centric. It's also what I'm willing to do. And at the end of the day, it's what you're willing to put in, what you're willing to get out of it, what your expectations are, and are they unrealistic for your goals? And these are all things that you got to think about when you're coming into a video like this, when you're coming into being a content creator, is focusing on what you want out of it. I spent a lot of time early in my YouTube career building videos that you would have seen on, other people's channels in a way that, like, hey guys, I'm not that good. Make money quick on Facebook. This was my fucking Gary V era for about 2.5 seconds. A really heartfelt video about COVID-19. Bitch, this guy had like 50 subscribers at the time. Nobody gave a fuck about his opinion about COVID. Like, US states, do I know them? This was like ancient YouTube content. Nobody gave a shit about this. I sold my Canon C100 in 2020. What the fuck? Who cares? Of course you sell a piece of shit fucking camera so that you can get a slightly better camera and what you use and how to use it, etc., etc. Like, no shit. Of course you did that. There are a lot of videos that I made early on that it was just like not what I wanted to do, not how it's supposed to be. So focus on being yourself. Get what you want.
I don't want to put all this effort and high production into one YouTube video. I want to have a chat that I talk to. I want to have this community I form. I want to make the videos about GeoGuessr because I like GeoGuessr. I don't give a fuck if it doesn't perform 50 million views. I'm happy with the mill. So you don't have to follow the playbook bar for bar as I'm saying it. All right? Trust yourselves, trust your instincts, think critically about what I'm saying. Some things I'm saying maybe you agree with, some things they don't. Don't trust me implicitly, take it all with a grain of salt. Guys, that is my lecture for you. Do you have any questions for me?
And we could stick around and listen to questions, but I think that's kind of the main point of the video. Jesus, chat, I did not expect this to be an hour and 45 minutes of stream, but here we are. So yeah, we definitely spent a lot more time doing that than what I wanted to have. We got to bring this down. All right. But yeah, overall, I think a lot of those concepts were like not bad things to think about. As I always say, like having goats in the industry that you want to look at are always huge and always helpful. And so like getting a idea of what you want to do and how you want to do it and how people or how you want to create is extremely important. And I think at the end of the day, you can always take the goats of the industry, the Ludwigs, the Mr. Beasts, the PewDiePies, the Cutie Cinderellas, the Valkyrays, you know, all of these people, understand what you want out of their life, out of their content supply, and morph it into your own. We are all constantly making art that rhymes, not necessarily art that is the same or copy pasting or theft or anything like that. We are making a type of art that rhymes together. And whatever type of rhyme you want to make is completely up to you. So when that all comes together, I think at the end of the day, we have a seriously good opportunity for content to be made, new types of things to be made, and something that better fits your style. So I think that's the goal. That's it.